Hey, folks, and welcome to our second interview here from Eurofinance Tech, where Frankfurt Eurofinance Week and the tech startups meet. You know, something like this is not possible without sponsors. We really thank Slack.com. Support for this podcast and the following messages comes from Slack, used by companies all over the world to get everything done, where every part of work, from documents to decision, is stored, archived, and searchable in seconds. Slack, where work happens. Find out at Slack more at slack.com. And of course, Startups Observer, the online dating for startups and investors. And I have a guest here, Chris.
Hi, thanks to be here and looking forward to our discussion.
And you are actually a fintech entrepreneur. That's why you are here on the couch, and that's what you do to make a living, right?
Absolutely correct. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Elinvar, a digital B2B2C platform enabling asset and wealth management.
B2B2C. Could you just elaborate a little bit on this most favorite buzzword?
Of course, happy to do so. By the way, I would say the most favorite buzzword at the moment is blockchain.
Oh, yeah, blockchain. Let's
decide
do Ethereum, ICO. What else is out there as buzzwords?
I'd say if you really want to make sure you are on the buzzword list, you should for sure do something like artificial intelligence, blockchain-based analytics. I'd say this brings you far ahead of the rest.
Okay, we checked out all the buzzwords, and now you can go with your real business.
Yeah, so actually what are we doing? When you look at asset and wealth management, you have three major components which define the success of an offering. You have obviously the investment quality, so the portfolio management expertise, the investment expertise, and everything required to make sure the product is good from the functional side. Then you need the trust of the client, so you need to really care about the client, need to be client focused. Obviously, it's a big advantage if you have an established brand and everything regarded to this. And the third component is tech. I mean, for the financial industry is the leading tech industry. There's a study by Gartner, I think was the original study, which shows that 20% of all global tech investments are actually done in the financial industry. But for the same reason, the financial industry is heavily influenced by legacy tech. So it's not really adaptive anymore because just too much tech is from the old times. There's still some cobalt developers here in Frankfurt to make a living of being the only ones of their species. So what we built is a very modern microservice-based infrastructure enabling asset and wealth managers to digitize their business, be it for a new offering which they want to offer digital, or be it that they want to change their whole business in order to participate from modern analytics and so on. Welcome. So we are live on a conference in case you wonder where we are. So absolutely. So there are a few definitions out there, but if you want to think about typical partners of ours, actually Warburg, for example, is one, and then they are officially already live with the Warburg Navigator, navigator.mmwarburg.de. This is a good example of what we're doing. Everything you see is Warburg. The portfolio management expertise you get is Warburg. And the technical platform they're using, starting with the onboarding, meaning the complete, in German, it's Geeignetheitsüberprüfung. So all regulatory things you need to do in order to end up with your strategy, the risk profiling, also all legal stuff so that you get the contract as a client, the portal you're using in order to get to know how much money you have, the portfolio management itself, which is actually happening behind. Everything is executed via our platform. So when we think about asset and wealth manager, we think about very established players, like, for example, Warburg being in this market for more than 200 years. Yeah, so actually this is like the microservice architecture. When you think about, to give a very easy example, I like to think of when I try to describe the advantages. Historically, you had a silo technical for each major thing. So for example, you had a client system which handled the client data. You had a questionnaire which was very often paper-based, sometimes digitalized, but only whether you want all the advisor is asked whether he want to talk to you. That's the business model our partner is executing. But in any case, you have the connected information, and then it's used in the portfolio management to ensure that the portfolio strategies really fit to you and to your needs. And exactly, so it's all reflected in there. And this is actually like using the tech side in order to make the portfolio management and customer side better. And we concentrate on exactly this. To give you an idea, if you look at our team, 70% of our team is tech. And this, even though we are a fully licensed portfolio manager ourselves, by the way, in case you wonder why are we licensed, it just brings us in the gives us the option that we can guarantee the tech and the regulatory compliance of the tech. So we're really handling this side for our partners. And if you think about fintech as an ecosystem of successful partners working together in their core competencies, our competency is tech, and our partners have their focus on portfolio management clients. So Elinvar itself is relatively new. We were founded summer last year. We worked on the whole model starting at the beginning of last year. So something like, let's say nearly 2 years. But exactly, I was more looking at the date, and as we already passed like mid of the month, I'd say nearly 2 years. But on the other side, if you look at our company, and I think this is something true for most fintechs today, we are quite an experienced team. So for example, myself, I'm in this industry for 20 years now. My two co-founders, more or less the same. So, and also when you look at the whole team, I'd say I'm not the only one with family and kids. Absolutely, fully agree. So my own background is in strategy. So for that reason, I strongly believe there's not one perfect finance structure, but should always fit your business model. And for us, obviously, the business model is working together with very, very established players like the Elinvar books. So it's important that we were very well funded from the beginning. And as we are focusing on really deep tech, so really building the stuff, we also had quite a long time to bridge where we said, okay, there we don't have revenues, but we have to build the tech. So for that reason, we have two major investors from day one. One is Finleap, a company builder in Berlin, and I'd say the most well-known company builder in this field in Europe. And the other one is Talanx, one of the leading insurance groups in Germany. And Talanx has the advantage that they are doing B2B offerings in the asset and wealth management industry for wealth managers, for asset managers themselves as well. So it makes a lot of sense to be in this field. Exactly. Also part of the group. And obviously this gives us the advantage that we are well funded and also have like reliable partners for the future on our side. So if you look at the typical B2C robo-advisors, be it in the US or be it in Europe, they all have to solve all three questions. So as I just said, they have to solve the portfolio management, they have to solve the client side, and they have to solve the tech side. So what they actually end up with is usually they do client acquisition in order to focus on clients. Sometimes they do some portfolio management, but it's very often only like one algorithm out of one textbook. And on the tech side, usually they focus really on the, let's say, front end tech, and everything behind is very often legacy systems as well. And they depending on the specific player, it's more or less legacy, but usually it's not the core competency. For us, it was the other way around. As our partners already have the expertise on the client side and already have the expertise on the portfolio management side, we were able to fully focus on the tech side and really create value there. And we all strongly believe that we are in a time where not one player is bringing to the market everything, but where it's rather about core competencies, bringing together, and then in the combination of the partners, the best results for end investors come together. And this is actually where we are focusing on and which differentiates us from all the others. None. None. No. As I said, I know this is like a classic thing that a lot of people think that. No, we have none at all. We have a PlayStation, but otherwise, as I said, we have quite a lot of people with kids and family at home. We are a more experienced team, and I would say if you come to our office, there are some things which are totally true. So like we have like this nice loft in Berlin, and it's like in this regard a very typical startup, but in other regards we are more like focused on really on expertise. And I always say like our core within us is, and our culture, if I have to describe it, it's tech driven with a high focus on excellence. You're welcome. Hope you liked it.
Thank you very much and good luck.
Thanks. See you.